So he listens to me when I talk, and I talk to him about my history, seeing as how we're coming up on the end of this Black History Month. But every day we should celebrate our history. And so I talked to him about my grandmother who lived in South Carolina, Lancaster, South Carolina. She had a house on a corner, and that house had a side porch and it was enclosed. And when all the family would gather at my grandmother's house, we would sit out on the porch and we would wave at the people who drove by, and they would wave back like they could see us on the side porch. And so anybody who was walking by or driving by, they would wave. They knew Miss Ruth's house. And when we would visit in the summertime and it would be really, really hot, we would drag mattresses out on this porch and we would sleep out there. We would sleep out there through the nights looking at lightning bugs and just talking and making noise. And the grown-ups would be in the house telling us children to be quiet out there and go to sleep. But we would stay up to the wee hours laughing and just talking and having a good time out there. Mosquitoes would eat you up, especially me. I don't know. I would swell up from the mosquito bites, but it was still fun and it was still memories of being at Miss Ruth's house. And when the people from California would go there to visit, they would bring baked goods and they would bring what they called canned goods, but it would be actually jars of preserves. And there was this soup that they would make and they would can it up because they would use it like in the wintertime. This was their sustenance, right? So, oh, they would preserve the best pear jelly. Oh man, that would be so delicious. I so miss my Aunt Inez and my grandmother and all their things that they would do and the stories that they would tell and how we would just sit around and listen and hear these stories. This is all of our history. And I fear that it's getting lost because we don't sit around and tell those stories anymore. We don't carry on those stories. I remember my great great grandfather, the story of how he would chase my grandfather around the house when he would sneak in after he was told he couldn't go out, and they would sneak out of the house and then the men would try to sneak back in, and my great grandfather chased them one night with a shotgun. It was just great sitting on the porch. So anyway, fast forward to this time, he listened to me. He listened to me talk about having a porch, and he built me one. He built me one in the front of our house. We already had this area in front of the house with these desert plants, and I called it Desert Storm. So right between that and the house, he built me a porch. He built me a porch, asked me if I would sit out here because I don't really sit in the backyard as much as he thinks I should. He put lights back there, but I just don't. But he put this porch out here and it is peaceful out here. And I come out here and I just remember. I just remember. This is peace. I'm blessed. Just wanted to share a testimony. Bye-bye.